I'm actually, Matt, I'm glad you brought this up because the one parting shot I want to give here before I sign off, I do want to talk a little bit about the Owners' Championship and everything. First year I watched this sport was 2007. And I remember a race at Dover when Scott Wimmer moved over to RCR's number 21 AutoZone car. Jeff Burton was in the 29 Holiday Inn car that week. Wimmer and Burton won the Owners' Championship that year. Everybody remembers Carl Edwards running away with the Drivers' Championship, but Burton and Wimmer were working together in that 29 to win RCR the Owners' title. And Wimmer was running this race alongside Burton in the other car for Childress. And the 21 pit crew had let him down. The 29 was shuffled back. So they brought in the Holiday Inn guys to pit the 21 car in the final pit stop, and it ended up benefiting Scott Wimmer. I think he finished third that day. So that's an example that's always stuck with me off the top of my head. I know there have been other examples like with Hendrick, and Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson in the past as well. But, I think it's a loophole that they certainly exploited and took advantage of. More power to them. But yeah, I mean, that is something that, you could ask that question. I think it's a very fair question, and see, again, our sport is so unique in that it's an individual sport in terms of drivers, but there are very much teams surrounding that driver. And then there are teammates within those single teams and organizations. So, it doesn't take much for loopholes like that to be exploited there. So again, something else to consider in the larger race manipulation conversation. But Matt, I do want to encourage you, keep an eye on Aric Almirola this weekend, because if he wins this Owners' Championship in that number 20 car that is owned by Joe Gibbs 17 years after he got pulled out of that exact same car in Milwaukee, I mean, that might be one of the most full circle moments in the history of this sport. So I hope that I almost said NBC. I guess it's the CW now, but it's still, I'm going to say NBC. It's all the NBC crew and everything. I hope that they don't, let that story get lost in all the championship for situations here. I hope they bring it up, because if Aric goes out and wins this weekend, or even if he's just the highest finishing of the four, or if Cole Custer wins and Eric's second, because the double zeros, the team at 20 cars taking the place of in the Owners playoffs. I mean, again, I think it's ridiculous enough we have this championship for on the Drivers' Championship side of things. For the Owners' Championship, I think it makes things even more silly. But it is what it is. That's the situation the 20 team is in right now. And if they win this championship, I mean, more power to Aric Almirola, and he deserves all the credit in the world to come back, after being a Gibbs development driver, the journeyman career that he has had. He has every right to celebrate that title, and his fans have every right to celebrate that title as if he won a Drivers' Championship, because although there is not as much prestige within the fan base for the Owners' Championship, it is still a thing. It does still matter to these teams. And I think Aric has one goal in mind this weekend, and he knows exactly what that is.
Absolutely, and we're going to be looking forward to that one, to keep an eye on it. Ben, can I push you for a championship prediction before you leave us tonight?
What series? Are you talking Xfinity and Trucks? Or?
Let's go Cup Series.
Series.
Keep it on brand, and then you've got a bit more.
Sure, we gave Xfinity and Trucks on Encore this weekend,
did,
or Monday night rather, I should say. So you can go check out those clips for that. Man, I don't know. I feel like it could go either way. I'm hoping, for the sake of the least controversy we could have, because if Logano wins, it's the worst average finish, and everybody's going to call it Mickey Mouse. I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying people are going to look at it that way, and the format's going to be exposed even more. If Byron wins, you got some people arguing he shouldn't even be there in the first place. If Reddick wins, that's a whole mess because of a lawsuit going on right now with the Charters in 2311. So I don't know. Blaney doubles down, goes back to back. I'll go with Ryan Blaney. I think that would be a nice story. And again, I think Ryan Blaney, I cannot for the life of me understand why he is not the most popular driver in this sport. I think, his family has been in this sport for a long time. He's very, very strong with the fans. I think he's got a great personality, and he's been a great champion this year. You can say, his average finish isn't that great as well, but I think he's done everything he's needed to do with this system that is the same for everybody. I believe me, I don't like the system, but I don't blame the drivers for it either. Ryan Blaney, more power to him for what he did last year and what he could very well do again this year. That'll be my pick.